Recently in Texas, a Toyota RAV4 owner paid $2,000 for a transmission flush, only to find out later his model had a sealed transmission that didn't even require flushing. Shocking, right? And scams like this are everywhere. A reports that 50% of car owners have been forced into repairs they didn't even need. Over a third were overcharged for parts or labor. But don't panic. In this video, I'm exposing the 7 biggest Toyota service center scams. Keep watching because number 5 is a crucial safety risk and number 7 is a $1,000 scam. Before we get started, let me be clear. I've worked on Toyotas for years. From Corollas to Tacomas, I've seen it all. And the stories are always the same. Unnecessary repairs, inflated bills, parts that don't match what's on the invoice. That's exactly why I'm exposing these scams, so you can walk into any Toyota service center with confidence and never get taken advantage of. Scam number 1. Charging for free software updates. Here's a newer scam that's becoming more common with modern Toyotas. Models like the Camry, RAV4, Highlander, and Tacoma often require software updates for the ECU or infotainment system. These updates can improve performance, fix glitches, or add safety refinements. And here's the important part. Toyota provides many of these updates free of charge under warranty. But some shady service centers won't tell you that. Instead, they'll tack on an extra line to your bill, charging you $100, $150, or even $200 for a simple update that should have cost you nothing. I've had customers show me receipts where they were billed for a diagnostic software refresh or ECU programming fee, when in reality, Toyota had already covered it. Why is this so sneaky? Because the update process itself looks technical and time-consuming. The technician plugs in a laptop, waits for the upload, and hands you the keys. To an unsuspecting customer, it feels like legitimate labor. But the truth is, it's part of Toyota's standard service support, not a premium add-on. So how do you protect yourself? Always ask up front if a software update is covered under warranty before agreeing to pay. You can also call Toyota customer service or check your owner's portal for update notices. They'll tell you if it's free. And if a dealership tries to bill you anyway, challenge it. A reputable Toyota service center should never charge for something the manufacturer already provides at no cost. When it comes to updates, remember, your Toyota deserves genuine service, not a made-up fee for pressing a download button. Scam number 2. Battery swap rip-offs. One of the sneakiest tricks I see at Toyota service centers is with battery replacements. You bring your car in expecting a quick fix, and suddenly you're staring at a bill north of $300. That price would sting on its own, but here's where it gets worse. Some shops charge you for a genuine Toyota TrueStart battery, then quietly install a cheaper aftermarket one instead. From the outside it looks fine, but it won't hold up the way a real TrueStart does. I've had customers come back within a year with a new battery that was already dying. The easiest way to protect yourself is to check the part before it goes under the hood. Genuine Toyota batteries are clearly labeled, and the part number should match what's listed for your model in Toyota's catalog. Don't be afraid to ask the advisor to show you the box or even the old battery being swapped out. A reputable service center will have no issue proving they installed the real thing. When you're paying Toyota prices, make sure you're actually getting Toyota quality. Anything less is a rip-off. Scam number 3. Extra faults during an MOT. This is one of the oldest dealership tricks in the book. Your Toyota feels perfectly fine, so you head in for an MOT expecting it to be routine. But once the test is done, the service advisor comes back with a long list of faults, claiming your car won't pass without hundreds of dollars worth of repairs. Sure, some issues might be genuine, but too often the list is padded with exaggerated or completely fabricated problems, because every added repair means more profit for them. It's frustrating for Toyota owners in particular, because these cars are engineered to last and don't usually need the endless repairs they push. I've had customers walk into my shop after an MOT failure, only to find out the so-called urgent repairs weren't necessary at all. a slightly worn brake pad turned into a full brake overhaul. A tiny oil seep was described as a major engine leak. The scare tactics never stop. So, how do you avoid being played? Lean on trust. Ask family, friends, or coworkers for a mechanic they depend on, ideally someone experienced with Toyotas. If you're new to the area, approved garage networks are a safe bet, and council-run MOT test centers are even better since they don't do repairs themselves and have no reason to invent faults. And remember, never take a dealership's repair list at face value. If something feels off, get a second opinion before handing over your money. If you made it this far, then consider liking this video, giving it a thumbs up, and subscribing to my channel. This helps me bring you more honest car advice. Scam number 4. Phantom cabin filter replacements. Another trick that pops up all the time at Toyota Service Center. You go in for a routine oil change, and the advisor suddenly tells you your cabin air filter is filthy and needs replacing right away. They'll even show you a picture of a dusty filter, sometimes not even yours, to make it sound urgent. Then they charge you $60, $70, or even $80 for the swap. The real kicker? In many cases, they don't replace it at all, or they throw in a cheap $10 filter and bill you like it's genuine Toyota quality. This scam is especially frustrating because most Toyota cabin filters are easy to replace yourself. On a Corolla, it's a 5-minute job behind the glove box, and the part usually costs around $15 at an auto parts store. I've seen customers pay dealership prices for years without realizing they could have done it themselves in less time than it takes to order drive-through coffee. So, how do you avoid it? First, ask to see the actual filter that came out of your car. A good mechanic will gladly hand it over and explain why it needs replacing. Second, check your owner's manual for the service interval. Many Toyotas only need a cabin filter every 15,000 to 30,000 miles, not at every oil change like they'll claim. And if you want to be 100% sure, pick up a genuine Toyota filter and do it yourself. When it comes to cabin filters, don't let the dealership turn a $15 job into an $80 scam. Scam number 5. Counterfeit parts sold as genuine Toyota parts. This is one of the most dangerous scams out there, and most Toyota owners never even see it coming. Counterfeit parts. These fakes are made to look just like the real thing, often stamped with fake Toyota logos and packaged to fool both drivers and mechanics. But underneath, they're nothing more than cheap knockoffs, usually made overseas with zero quality control. The Automotive Anti-Counterfeiting Council estimates these fake parts cost the US more than $3 billion a year. That's billions spent on parts that don't just underperform, they can be deadly. And here's where the risk gets serious. Counterfeit parts aren't just about wasting money, they put your safety on the line. Imagine counterfeit brake pads on your Toyota Highlander. They might work during normal driving, but hit the brakes in an emergency and they could crumble, leaving you with no stopping power. Fake airbags. They may not deploy at all, or worse, deploy incorrectly and cause injuries. Even a counterfeit oil filter can clog early, cutting off oil flow and leading to catastrophic engine failure in your Corolla or Camry. I've seen customers pay premium Toyota prices at shady shops, only to find out later they'd been given a knockoff part worth pennies. So, how do you protect yourself? Always ask where your parts are coming from. Genuine Toyota parts are sealed, labeled, and sourced directly from Toyota distribution. If a dealership or mechanic avoids your questions or refuses to show proof, that's your warning sign. And remember, if the price looks too good to be true, like a $50 set of genuine Toyota brake pads, it almost certainly is. Your Toyota was engineered with strict standards, and counterfeit parts destroy that reliability. They won't just shorten your car's life, they could put you and your family in real danger every time you hit the road. Scam number 6. Blinding you with tech jargon. I see all the time at Toyota service centers that advisors are trying to confuse you with technical jargon. Most drivers don't have a background in mechanics, and shady dealerships know it. So they'll start tossing out complicated terms like valve train timing irregularities or multi-point electronic diagnostics, making even a small problem sound catastrophic. The goal is simple: scare you into paying for expensive repairs you don't really need. I've had Toyota owners come to me convinced their car was on the verge of breaking down after being told it needed thousands of dollars in work. But when I inspected the vehicle, the real issue was minor: a dirty air filter, a loose sensor, or something that could be fixed in minutes. All that scary jargon was nothing more than smoke and mirror. So, how do you avoid being fooled? Ask questions. A good Toyota mechanic should always be able to explain the problem in plain language. If they can't, or if they get annoyed when you press for clarity, that's your signal to walk away and get a second opinion. And here's some solid advice: learn the basics. You don't need to know every bolt in your Camry or Tacoma, but being able to tell your oil dipstick from your coolant reservoir makes it much harder for a dishonest advisor to take advantage of you. When you understand the basics and demand clear answers, you strip away their biggest weapon: confusion. Scam number 7. Unnecessary fluid, flushes, and add-on services. Here's a scam that eats through your wallet faster than almost anything else: unnecessary fluid flushes. Walk into a Toyota dealership for a simple oil change, and the advisor suddenly recommends a transmission flush, a brake fluid flush, a power steering flush, and a coolant flush. The catch? Most of these services aren't needed nearly as often as they claim, and in some cases not at all. For example, modern Toyotas use electric power steering, which means there's no fluid to flush in the first place. Each of these so-called flushes runs anywhere from $200 to $400. Stack them together, and you could be staring at a bill of over $1,000 for services your Toyota didn't actually need. I've seen customers charged for a $350 transmission flush at just 30,000 miles, even though Toyota's own maintenance schedule didn't call for one until 100,000. That's money straight down the drain. The real problem is that it adds up over time. Keep saying yes to these upsells, and you'll easily lose thousands of dollars across your Toyota's life. And here's the kicker: repeated unnecessary flushes can actually harm sealed Toyota transmission, stirring up debris and causing slipping issues that weren't there before. So while counterfeit parts are the biggest safety risk, these bogus flushes are the biggest financial scam. They drain your wallet little by little, leaving you paying top dollar for services that do nothing to extend your Toyota's life. As an experienced Toyota mechanic, my advice for avoiding these scams is simple: always ask for a written estimate that clearly shows parts and labor, so you're not hit with surprise charges. Don't be afraid to question the detail, whether it's brake pad thickness or an AC repair. A good shop will explain it in plain language and even show you proof. And most importantly, trust your gut. If a technician seems defensive or refuses to answer, that's a red flag. Walk away before you hand over your money. If you're enjoying this video, consider watching this one, where I've shared tips to make your Toyota hybrid last 300,000 miles without repair.